Hi, this is Mike Zapsik from a Shared Universe podcast studio, and you're listening to Talking Codswallop Podcast.
Hey, it's Taylor from Calling the Shots.
Hey, this is Steve from Calling the Shots.
Hey, what's up? It's Mike from the Pizza Beer Revolution podcast.
Hi, this is Derek D from PBR Podcast and DerekD.com, of course. And you are listening to Talking Codswallop. Talking Codswallop. How you guys doing? This is great. This is the POTUS. It's President of the United States, Donald. You're looking to wall up the swelling. That's what you're listening to. It's great. I gotta tell you, the swell up of the wall is great. I love walls. And the cod wallop, it's swell up. Fantastic. You're listening to it. Wallops, cods. Fish, walls, swallows.
Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma.
I'm James.
Woohoo! James is back!
Yeah, I am. I'm here. Back from a wee sabbatical.
You enjoyed yourself a bit too much and you took too much time off. I missed you. And if I sound really, really horrible right now, it's because I'm full of cold, but I still wanted to get an episode out to you guys. So I'm ever so sorry of how I sound, but I hope you appreciate the fact that I'm still doing it. So
Gemma's putting the effort in. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like you've got a bit of a cold as well, James.
Possibly a little bit. I've been feeling a little bit bunged up, but I'll power through, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. So welcome to this week's sickness report from James and Gemma.
Yep.
And if you're wondering why Andy sounds so quiet, it's because he's not here.
Yeah, Andy's so ill he's had to completely back out. No, Andy is just very, very busy, I believe, so.
No, Andy is a grumpy arsehole and we didn't want to put you through that. So, so basically he has decided to opt out because he is in a bit of a grumpy mood. So obviously we appreciate that really because we don't want to put you guys through that. So James, how have you been?
Yeah, I've not been too bad. I've been, I was actually in a foreign land.
Yes.
For some of the time when I've been away, I went over to Germany to see family, which was wonderful. Very, very, very enjoyable. My father, we were very, very lucky actually. On the weather front, we only had sort of one day of bad rain, and then we came back to the UK, and the weather has been completely chaotic ever since.
Yes, it's been wonderful, hasn't it?
I was still amazed upon seeing my relative out there. It's my great aunt. She's 94.
Wow.
That she only looks like she's in her 70s. She lives on a diet of extremely rich dark chocolate, full fat, cheese, cream, butter. Everything that we're told is bad for us, and wonderful.
Well, she's
wonderful.
93, so
94, so it's phenomenal, and she's absolutely sharp as a tack. I'll be amazed if I get anywhere near that, or anywhere even in that shape.
I think that's the case for me as well. So, but yeah, good for her, definitely. And so, for all of you vegans out there who are listening to this podcast, wondering what you should be doing with your lives, it sounds like you shouldn't be not having dairy. You should be having a lot of dairy.
Yeah, totally. I mean, she eats cheese that's verging on butter. It's that rich, so.
Oh my goodness.
So she's doing something right. She's definitely doing something right.
Yeah. And were you there for the Christmas market as well?
Well, there was some Christmas markets on, but unfortunately they were all sort of being set up and put together for the time we left, so we weren't actually able to see them.
Oh, that's a shame.
So we missed that, but I have to say, it was a great time and the flight and everything was really good, so there were no problems with that at all. We were very happy. Had a very good time, didn't sleep very much, but there's no real difference there for me, so.
No. Well, as I said on last week's episode, that's why James wasn't here there last week, was because he was sleeping. But it sounds like you've not done much sleeping in the meantime, so.
I'm just never sleeping by the feel of it, so.
No, I think what we need to do is a bit like a Walt Disney cartoon. You know how they got the sledgehammer and they bonk the person on the head. I think we need to do that with you.
Well, an alternative, less violent idea is I'd love to hear what listeners' ideas on things that could help me sleep.
Ooh, yeah.
Have any suggestions within reason, within the realms of reasonable normalcy? I will happily listen to any suggestions they've got.
Yeah, I've got a couple. Do you like lavender or not really?
I do. I love lavender.
Yeah. So if you put lavender on the temples of your head, that massage it in circular motions. Sometimes that could help with sleeping, and obviously rub a little bit under your nose as well.
Just before we change topic on that, going back to my great aunt, I'll tell you an interesting story. Speaking of lavender,
go on then.
She was using lavender oil for, I think it's part to do with the cold and sleep stuff, and put it under her nose, which links into what you said, and it's now destroyed her sense of smell. So I maybe won't stick it under the nose.
Oh no! Okay, well maybe don't use it that much. Oh no! Nose, I think should be what I say right now. Maybe don't use it quite as vigorously as she has then. But yeah, the occasional use probably wouldn't hurt. But the other thing that I do, which is a little bit obscure, but I do. Basically, it's like sometimes, because obviously your brain is overthinking things, which is why you can't sleep. So what I tend to do is do either is it the phonetic alphabet? Is that the police one?
Phonetic, maybe, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was saying that, but with a cold, that sounded, it obviously sounded wrong.
I thought you said phonetic, but yeah,
it wasn't a Gemma dumb fuck up, it was actually just that I was saying the right word, but it didn't come out sounding right.
It was Gemma's nasal passages done fuck up, so.
Yeah, definitely. I sit there and I sort of go through the alphabet in my head. But sometimes I change it up and I'll do fruit and veg or whatever, and you sort of, because you really have to think about certain fruits and veg. You know what I mean? Of what's H for what or whatever, or G, because, actually G is grapes, but, still, you're sort of while you're lying there, you're just sort of, with your eyes closed and just think about those kind of things. It really does help me, because I quite often, because I'm quite wired because of working with computers and stuff all day, sometimes I find it hard to kind of wind down, and it actually does help me.
Well, I'll certainly give it a shot.
Yeah.
I'll try that, yeah.
Yeah, because you could use anything. You could use, girls' names, boys' names, anything that, well, that works for me anyway, so might be worth a shot. So, like you said.
It's always worth trying. Never discount anything. Oh, Gemma, that does not sound good.
It doesn't sound good at all. I had to blow my nose today, James. There was no way around it.
Were you repulsed by yourself?
I really was. And I think it's not so bad because I know it's coming when I'm blowing my own nose. So I know what the sounds are, and and I do gentle dainty blows, like but oh my god.
It must be hell for you, mustn't it? The
it is.
Periods with people being ill and coughing and blowing noses and spluttering all the time.
Oh yes. It isn't fun. It isn't a fun life for me at the moment, I have to say. But yeah. So I blame all of the people who come to work with a cold for the reason why I have a cold. But there you go. I'm not going to keep harping on about it, but I just want everyone to know that I'm ill.
Yeah. Even if you're not being able to tell that listening, there's something deeply wrong with you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, last weekend I had my Christmas works party, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, so basically it was a lot of drinking, basically. And we got up to all sorts. So it was we went to a hotel, and the venue's nice because we were there last year. Basically, the theme was Brit Awards, which wasn't really my cup of tea anyway, because if you think of all of the female sort of singers, there's not really, other than Lady Gaga or anyone like that, there's not really anybody that if you dressed up as a female singer, you kind of have to go out of your way to kind of really go over and above. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so I just decided to dress like me, basically.
Cool.
But me was a dress with zombie unicorns on, eyeballs, and potions. Oh, and killer teddy bears.
That's different.
Yeah. But that was such a typical dress for me. It's like, I absolutely love that dress. It's like one of my absolute favourites. So it's one of those kind of, 1950s sort of pin-up dresses.
Yes, that sounds pretty cool. I'm liking the sound of that.
Yeah. So I really did enjoy myself. And it's, it was nice to sort of see people outside of work as well. Quite often when you're in work, everybody's stressed out and everyone's sort of, wound up about all different things and you don't really get to speak to people. Or in my case, like I don't get to speak to many of the people that actually work in the sort of factory where I'm office based.
Mm-hmm.
I see people from time to time, but then I don't really know people's names, I just know them to wave to sort of thing. So it was nice to actually get to know people a lot better. So
who are you people? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What department do you work at? Yeah. End of the evening, basically, me and one of the sales managers had a couple of drinks because I was staying in the hotel because obviously I didn't want to drive home after having drinks.
Good thinking.
Yes, good call, wasn't it? Sorry, we were like having a conversation, then all of a sudden it turned to politics, and I was just like, it kind of ruined the end of the evening for me, really, because I really didn't want to have a conversation about politics, but, that was the only downside. Other than that, I had a really fantastic evening. So,
Excellent.
yay! Like I said, lots of drinking. Woke up at 9:30 the next morning and felt like dog poo. But that was because of a hangover, not because I'm being ill.
That's not good. How long did it take to recover from the hangover?
Honestly, it probably took a day and a half because I'm getting old now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
People wonder why I stopped drinking.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, I don't really drink that often anyway.
No.
So it is kind of a rare thing, but when I do drink, I like to go all out and have a really good time.
But, well, the other positive thing is you actually could remember the evening, because far too many times I heard people from, like, my old work who would drink to the point where they couldn't remember anything.
Yeah.
And to me, that's too risky.
Yeah.
I've also seen stuff at work stu's that, frankly, is terrifying. Under the influence of drink. Stuff that people should be fired for, but...
Yeah.
Well, in some cases, I've seen instances where people should have been arrested for things, so...
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Did you want to tell a few stories? Obviously don't name names because nobody will know who they are anyway, but it'd be quite fun to actually listen to them.
I'm not sure how legally, and I'm being very serious, I'm not sure how legally I can on some of them. But to give you an idea, instances where you've had, to give you a broad idea, instances where you've had people so drunk that they've been basically just completely collapsing on floors, collapsing on tables, throwing up on people.
Oh, God.
And there's been instances where I learnt secondhand, where there have been fisticuffs, things like that. So, yeah.
Well, that's it. I think, none of that happened at our Christmas party that I saw anyway. I don't think anything happened like that. But, yeah, it's like staff dues. They kind of do go in a weird way sometimes, don't they?
They do.
It's like people that you get on well with normally on a day-to-day basis. Like, once they've had a couple of drinks, you're just like, you're an absolute arsehole.
To be fair, what I invariably found out was the people I thought were complete arseholes anyway. It just magnified the reasons why I thought they were complete arseholes. Interesting on one thing, because obviously no names have been mentioned, so there's no issues for me.
Absolutely not.
But one of the strangest things I did see at a work do was someone doing something that I think I've heard it called battle shipping, where you basically go around to every single table and basically this guy was checking the bottles of wine
that
have been left to see what he could get from them to drink.
Oh, I mean, we all did that. We definitely all did that at our Christmas party. But we didn't just, we just walked off with the bottle underarm. Sometimes we had two.
No, what I mean is he literally was going to see what dregs were left in a bottle.
Well, I mean, drinks are expensive these days. Yeah, because we had like 2 tokens. So, yeah, but there was lots of wine on the table. So I did a very silly thing and mixed mixed red and white, which is never good because I don't even like red wine, but it was there and I needed something to drink. So.
That may explain the hangover then.
Yes, yeah, definitely. But because my cure the next day is a banana milkshake and basically like junk food, because it's like the banana milkshake's obviously got the potassium in it.
Yes.
But yeah, it just really helped to sort of wake me up and get me going. Normally, I love, oh God, I wish I'd had one because I really, really craved for it. A Chinese chicken roll, so on a white piece of bread, bit of butter. Oh my God, that is like the favouriteest hangover food ever. Oh, I could eat that until I pop if I'm hungover. But I didn't have one to hand, so I had to make do with what I had, which was just kind of snacky food, which was fine. But yeah, and I just, and then obviously I had to check out of the room, which that was kind of the annoying part as well, because it was kind of like, oh, but I just want to relax now. I can't, I have to actually get going.
It's pretty horrible when you feel that rotten, because I was there after I've been at a friend's wedding, and I was drinking. This is many moons ago, but we were up drinking until so late or early, depending on how you want to look at it, that when we all went to bed, they were putting out the breakfast stuff.
Oh, no.
They were putting all the tables out and everything. So I think I probably got about 2 hours sleep, and strangely, I was convinced when I got up I was going to throw up. Part of the problem I had is that the room I was in was just hot. It was in summer.
Yeah.
You couldn't open the windows. It was just, how I actually was not violently ill. There was no sick, no issues like that, but it was commented upon by people that I looked pretty rough when I
went down for breakfast. Yeah. You should have just stayed up and had breakfast and then gone to bed.
Well, I couldn't because I had to leave the hotel, so.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you maybe had 2 days there or something,
No.
But yeah. Oh, no, that's annoying. That is really frustrating. But yeah.
Yeah, my blood alcohol levels were probably 90% because I've been drinking vodka martinis. Well, actually, to run the whole process, I'd started by drinking something called a woo-woo.
Okay, I like woo-woos.
I had about 2 or 3 of them, possibly more. Then I was on to wine. Then I was on to champagne. Then I was on to whiskey. And then I was on to vodka martinis until, 7 in the morning or something? 6, 7 in the morning?
There's part of me that would like to know that, James, because I would quite like to go drinking with that, James. Not that I wouldn't, not that I don't want to sort of meet you and everything, but, that James does sound like a lot of fun.
He was an interesting character. It'd be interesting to see how many people could keep up with that, James. So.
Yeah. I think I would give it a good shot, but I don't think I would be able to. It depends how many, how many of each of those you had?
Well, from what I can remember, I probably had some 4 martinis.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be able to pack those away like no one's business. So, yeah. And they've got a bit of a kick to them.
Stafford. James Stafford.
Yeah, I've been known to drink a few cocktails in my time.
Yeah.
Now, as a side note, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
You have seen the trailer, as I have, to the Ghostbusters film that's coming out, the new one.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. One of my favourite things about it is the fact that it isn't a remake.
Yes.
It's part of the Ghostbusters franchise, but it feels like an almost standalone film.
Yes.
I like the concept of the fact that the kids are, in effect, the Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I made a reference to the fact that Finn Wolfhard is in it, who, I know James doesn't know because he still hasn't watched Stranger Things. People, you need to tell James to watch Stranger Things. He's going to absolutely love it. But he is such an incredible actor, I showed you a picture of him. You should have been able to identify which one I meant, but he is such an incredible actor for such a young actor, and he's gonna go places, as long as he doesn't go down the route of River Phoenix, which hopefully he doesn't, but yeah, I think he's got big things coming his way. That sounded really dodgy, and I didn't mean it in a dodgy sense, but, I think he's gonna super make it. Do you know what I
We
mean?
know what you mean. We know what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you on the point you made about it not being sort of a remake, because people can argue the second Ghostbusters was sort of like a remake of the first in, similar sort of plot,
Yeah.
New York, etc. And I
Yeah,
like
but even that, because it was, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off then,
okay.
but even that, because it was sort of tongue-in-cheek, the way it was done, it was accepted. But what I mean by the remake is the female version I really didn't like. Obviously, really loved the female Slimer. She's fantastic.
Absolutely, yeah. She was the selling point. Love you, Robin.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth didn't even make it better for me. Do you know what I mean? And I love Chris Hemsworth.
But yeah, I see what you mean on it. As I like the fact that you could even just in the trailer see nods to the original stuff. Like there was for those who are real fans, I noticed it because I saw it I think twice or three times the trailer. There was like books stacked in a funny manner, which is like a nod to a comment about the way books are stacked in the first film.
Yeah,
and the fact that you're seeing that they were the kids in it, Finn's character and family, I guess, are Spenglers, are related to the Spenglers, and the fact that it even appears there's going to be like a terror dog in it of some sort. So I mean, very interested to see where it goes. Paul Rudders ever looks brilliant.
Yeah. Does that man ever age?
Well, I was about to say, I think he's like been cryogenically frozen, and they wheel him out for films.
Or he's a witch and he drinks children's blood.
Yeah.
Oh no, this film's got full of children. What? Yeah. What if? Well, he'll have some sort of homeless child, I'm sure. He wouldn't pick a famous one.
or it's just Dorian Gray, and he's just got a picture of him in his attic that's getting older and older and more wizened and awful looking.
Oh yeah, could do.
But the only thing that I wonder on this film, and I keep sort of saying this to people who are fans that I know, is that I wouldn't expect too much from the original cast in it. I think they're going to be very much almost like glorified cameos. But as a film, I feel far more positive about this than I did seeing the trailer to the remake. Yeah. I remember when the remake trailer came out, I had to show it to my dad, because I went to see what my dad thought of it, and his comment pretty much summed it up, and he was annoyingly as ever with my dad, spot on, which he just said, remaking Ghostbusters. He said, I won't want to touch that.
Yeah.
So
when you refer to the remake, do you mean the female version?
The female version, yeah. The Answer the Call.
Yeah, I thought you meant that one, but yeah, because also you referenced, when I said remake earlier, and you referenced Ghostbusters 2, so I wasn't sure which one you meant, but
No.
Yeah.
All I meant with Ghostbusters 2 is a lot of people, I mean, I love Ghostbusters 2, it's the first one I ever saw in the cinema.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen it in the cinema twice, actually. I've managed to see, because they don't show it that much, I saw it at a special back-to-back screening a few years ago. But with Ghostbusters, the only reason I said like number 2 remake style is a lot of people say that there's similarities in the story to the first one. But I think, with Ghostbusters Answer the Call, I get the idea behind it, and I have a lot of respect for people who worked on it. Mm-hmm. But I think it was just too much of a difficult thing. Because the problem, I mean, again, I'm going to go back to my dad, but he and I, we will occasionally have discussions about films and things. And we were saying how if you look at Ghostbusters as a film, it was a hell of a risk. If someone came to you and said, we're going to make a comedy about catching ghosts, it doesn't lend itself as a logical thing. But it was, for many, many years, the most successful comedy ever made. And as my dad said, touching it to try and do the remake, it just didn't work. But you've seen an extremely different reaction. I said this on Twitter. The reaction to the trailer to Ghostbusters Afterlife has been very positive, where unfortunately when they made Answer the Call, it was hit with sort of resounding negativity, and I think became the most disliked trailer in YouTube history. Yeah. So hopefully it'll work. I mean, Jason Ramt, within his own area of directing, is very, very good, and obviously, he's Ivan Reitman's son. So I think, as you have said, we have a similar view that it's going to be quite a good film. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very good film as well. I hope it is. That trailer has definitely got me very excited for wanting to see the film, especially when you saw the, brain's dead. Ecto 1. Ecto 1, the Ecto 1, yeah. Yeah, the Ecto 1, and you're like, oh my god! Yep.
It's like full of absolutely. I mean, if the trailer alone, I hope it's not like normal where the trailer kind of gives you the best bits.
Yeah, I would hope not. I don't feel it's given too much away. I mean, what I'd say is if you don't like it, the film ends up being awful, you can duck out of it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the greatest piece of advice I saw recently was ABD.
What's that?
Always be ducking.
Especially as tall as we are.
I'm hoping you got the reference there.
Not really.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go with this. Are we all here? Well, if we're not, I'm going to start anyway.
I'm still not getting it, James.
Oh, God, it really is lost on you.
Yeah, I'm really...
Okay, I'll give you one more shot, but let's talk about something important.
Okay.
Nope. Starting with tonight. No, you really don't get it, do you?
I really
don't. Go with the original theme based on.
I don't. The thing is that I'm guessing that these are all references from Ghostbusters.
No, not at all. I'm referencing something completely different. I'll give you one last thing.
Oh, but
And I think you'll get this.
Okay, go on.
You call yourself a Klansman, you son of a bitch?
No!
Oh, wow. Reboot!
Oh!
It's from Reboot when when Bob is he's basically paraphrasing one of the greatest film scenes ever, which is from Glenn Gray, Glenn Ross.
Oh, okay. See, the problem is that I don't restore lines.
Yeah,
so
I obviously need a life, don't I?
Yeah. Have you actually seen Reboot then?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, yeah, we won't talk about it because Andy and I talked about it last week, and well, we didn't really talk about it at all. You would know this, James, if you listened to the podcast, but you don't. So, yeah.
No, I'm a bad man.
You are. Yes, Jamie and Owen, for the record, as you're listening right now, James has a confession to make.
Do I?
Yes. You know what the confession is.
I haven't listened to things that I should have listened to, I'm assuming.
No, you haven't listened to the episode that I recorded with Jamie and the wonderful Owen, which was a fun-filled, packed episode. And
that's things I should have listened to, you see, that I haven't listened to.
Yep. He's he doesn't work and he's got no time, so.
Yeah. It's shocking, isn't it? Can't you have little time I'd have if I actually worked?
Yeah, God, yeah. But, yeah, so, did you enjoy Reboot?
Absolutely. I mean, the reason I brought it into the conversation is just this idea of having a sequel to something. You know, being serious, Reboot could have been horrendous. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of build-up for it, but I found it to be absolutely wonderful. I found it exceeding my expectations of it. I found myself, I'm man enough to admit, I found myself getting emotional at parts of it and getting tearful, but I thought it was absolutely wonderful. It made me very happy. I thought it was a great film, so.
Yeah. One thing I am going to reference, because I didn't say it in last week's episode, so I'm really pleased that you brought it up so I can actually get this off my chest. One thing that annoyed me a tiny little bit, but actually there was a reason for it, so it all made sense in the end, was there's a Chinese girl and she was walking around with a Zoom H1, which is the microphone.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah, recorded with her podcast. And I was like, the whole time I'm watching it, and this isn't really spoilers for anybody, but it kind of makes sense later on, so I won't go on to that. But I'm like, why hasn't she got a wind effect? A wind,
I wondered that too.
Little hat on. Yeah. I'm like, no, she hasn't got a wind hat on. That audio is going to be crap. How can Kevin Smith make a mistake like this?
The only thing that I found weird it's just when you mentioned Kevin. Yeah. The only bit that I didn't enjoy, that I found a little bit off, but I sort of like, in hindsight, ran with it, was the idea of Kevin within it, if you get my drift.
Yes.
That was the only thing I found a little strange.
Yeah, it was fun, but it kind of was funny as well, though, wasn't it? So.
Well, they did acknowledge it when, like, I've gone blank on what the character was called, but when Harley's like, they really look alike, sort of thing.
Yeah. I'll talk to you more about that later, I think, so that we come off of scary territory here, because people are probably, if they haven't seen it, they're probably putting their fingers in their ears, but I promise we won't spoil anything.
Yeah. apologies, people, but
We haven't spoiled a thing. We've not given anything away with what we've just said, so it's
No, that's
absolutely
true.
fine. But this amazing thing happens now. I don't know if this is a spoiler, but it was really cute to see Logan.
yeah, I didn't initially twig it was Logan. I'm like, small child. And then I sort of went, I looked and thought, I bet that's Logan.
Yeah, I twigged straight away it was. She is absolutely adorable. She's such a cute little girl.
But yeah, we can't give too much away, really, I guess. But it was certainly, I loved it on just about every level that you could love it. It was a really good film, really heartwarming.
Yeah, so if you can get to see it at a cinema, do that. But if not, then I think it is going to be out on DVD release very soon.
I think it's coming out on digital download in maybe this month.
Oh, awesome. Because I know that you can pay like a £10 deposit, I think, for it or something at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll be like on Amazon Prime, I imagine. Will it?
Pass. It's just something I saw. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but we've strayed onto Reboot. But yeah, trailer front, I think the Ghostbusters film has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
But it's never going to please everyone because, well, you can't please everybody all the time, so.
There's going to be people out there that aren't going to like it, but I think by the looks of things, the majority of people are on board. And I hope it is as good as the trailer. That's all I like, sort of my last view on it sort of thing, really.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait. I will definitely go and see it at the cinema, regardless. Because I love Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd doesn't really, in my opinion, he doesn't seem to touch a script unless it's really good. You know? I may be wrong. There may be a few choices that he's made that aren't as good, but he seems to always bring something to the characters that is, brilliant.
Halloween 5 was a bit iffy, but we'll give him a pass.
Oh, I've not seen that one, so there you go. That's probably why then that I can't think of that one. So, how many fish did you want to give the Ghostbusters trailer out of 5?
I'd say 4.
4?
I was that impressed, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to have a 4 as well from me. So, 4 flappy fish.
I think what pushes into the 4 was just the bit when Paul Rudd was sat in the car and clearly a terror dog has landed on the bonnet of the car. So.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer to the new James Bond film?
No, I'm not massively into James Bond, to be honest, but you're welcome to talk about it, of course.
Well, I can't really discuss in too much detail, other than the fact that it doesn't look as cack as I thought it would do. So there's, again, potential there. Potential.
Yeah. Isn't it something like A Spy Never Sleeps or something like that?
Almost. That might have actually been a better title. It's called No Time to Die. So.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm just thinking of James Stafford.
Yes, possibly.
The Spy That Never Sleeps. That's what the episode's going to be called, The Spy That Never Sleeps. There we go.
James Stafford, who sits up just drinking heavily. Yeah.
Yeah. In a past life, he drinks heavily. Now, he doesn't, and he can't sleep. Oh, bless you.
I wasn't even sleeping then, so...
Yeah, well, yeah, but you probably were mentally sleeping a little bit.
Possibly.
Well, on that note, James, I think I need to go to bed, so I'm gonna put my head under the covers, wrap up warm, and put a Christmas DVD on. So I think we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. I have been Gemma.
I've been James, and to Gemma and anyone else, get well soon if you're unwell.
Yeah. Yeah. Still laughing, folks. Still laughing. And I'm so sorry if this episode has really put you off because I sound so shit. But I will be back on full thumb next week. I'm almost certain. Bye. You're not going to say bye to the listeners, James?
Bye, everybody.
Oh, sorry, the salty tadpoles, should I say?
Goodbye, salty tadpoles. Swim, and sleep well.